Stop scrolling. I need you to read that again. Stop scrolling. Because what is about to happen in April 2026 is not something that comes around every year. It is not something you can afford to stumble across 2 weeks from now when the window is already cracked open without you. And if your sign is one of the 4 I'm about to name in this video, and you will know within the next 60 seconds whether it is, then you need to understand that the financial current building beneath your life right now is unlike anything you have felt in years, maybe longer. Here's what most people will do with this information. They will watch half of this. They will think it is interesting. They will keep scrolling, and 3 weeks from now they will be standing inside the exact shift I described, without knowing what it was, without being ready for it, and without having done the one thing that separates the people who ride a wave from the people it rolls right over, which is simply this: knowing it is coming before it arrives. You are here early. That already tells me something about where you are on your path. Pay attention. In the next few weeks, 2 of the most powerful planets in the entire astrological sky are moving into a configuration that has not occurred in this specific combination for over 12 years. Venus, the planet that rules money, worth, beauty, and everything you attract into your life, entered her home sign of Taurus on March 30th. She is now sitting in the most powerful financial placement in the entire Zodiac, in her own territory, in the sign she rules. Which means she is not just influencing abundance right now, she is commanding it. At the same time, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, luck, opportunity, and the kind of growth that multiplies what you already have, is currently moving through Cancer. And in Cancer, Jupiter is not just strong. Jupiter in Cancer is what astrologers call exalted. It is the single most powerful placement Jupiter can occupy in the entire zodiac. It means Jupiter is operating at full capacity. No limitations, no friction. Pure, unfiltered expansion energy pointed directly at emotional security. Home, family, wealth accumulation, and the foundations of your life. Now here is what most people do not understand about this combination. Venus in Taurus and Jupiter in Cancer are in what is called a trine, a 120-degree angle of pure harmonic flow. These 2 planets are not in conflict right now. They are not in tension. They are cooperating. They are speaking the same language, and the language they are speaking is abundance. This is the financial current I mentioned, and it is already moving, whether you feel it yet or not. But here is the critical piece. Not everyone is standing in its path equally. Planetary energy does not distribute itself evenly across all 12 signs. It concentrates, it targets, it flows most powerfully toward the signs whose charts are most directly activated by the transiting planets. And right now, 4 specific signs are standing directly in the current of this Venus-Jupiter financial trine. 4 signs for whom the coming weeks are not just favorable, they are transformational. Because there is a version of this information that gets told in a way that makes people passive. That implies the money is just going to show up, fully formed, while you sit there waiting. That is not how any of this works. What Jupiter and Venus are doing right now is removing friction. They are clearing the pathway. They are making the door easier to open than it has ever been, but you still have to walk through it. The difference between this moment and every other moment in the last 12 years is that the door is no longer locked. For the first time in a long time, it is standing open. What you do next is entirely up to you. Now, the 4 signs. Subside. Number 1. Taurus. If you are Taurus, or if you have significant Taurus placements in your chart, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, what I am about to tell you is going to feel like someone just turned the lights on in a room you have been navigating in the dark for years. Venus entering Taurus is not just a favorable transit for you. It is your ruling planet returning home. Think about what that means for a moment. Every other sign experiences Venus as a visitor, a guest who brings gifts and then leaves. For Taurus, Venus coming home is a fundamentally different experience. It is the restoration of your natural frequency. Your energy field is recalibrating right now toward what you are actually meant to attract. not just what you have been settling for. And what have you been settling for? Be honest. Because if you are a Taurus, the last several months, maybe longer, have had a quality of almost enough, almost there, close but not quite landing, opportunities that appeared on the horizon and then did not fully materialize, financial decisions that felt like they were moving forward and then stalled without explanation. A general sense that the effort you were putting in should have been producing more than it was, that the gap between what you were working toward and what was actually arriving in your hands was wider than it should have been, and the frustrating part was that you could not identify what the obstacle was. Nothing obvious was wrong. It just was not quite landing. That is over now. Venus in her home sign, trine Jupiter in Cancer, is creating what is essentially a direct channel between your efforts and your results. The atmospheric resistance that has been slowing your financial momentum is being removed at the source. What you send out is going to start coming back to you faster, more completely, and with less friction than you have experienced in years. For Taurus specifically, the coming weeks are most likely to bring financial movement in the areas of existing relationships and existing work rather than completely new avenues. This is important to understand because Taurus energy is always about the harvest of what you have already planted, not the planting of something new. The conversations that have been dormant in your professional life are about to become active again. The projects you invested time in that seemed to go quiet are about to generate returns. The value you have been building quietly in someone else's awareness, a colleague, a client, a collaborator, is about to be spoken out loud in a way that changes your financial trajectory. Recognition is coming, not manufactured recognition. Earned recognition finally making its way to the surface. The one thing you must not do during this window is dismiss the small financial signals as insignificant. A Taurus in abundance season tends to wait for the big sign, the dramatic confirmation, the unmistakable windfall. But Venus in Taurus does not always announce herself with fireworks. More often she shows up in a quiet conversation that has a very large door behind it, a seemingly minor decision that has very large consequences. Pay close attention to everything right now. The biggest financial shifts of your life often begin as the smallest looking moments. Do not let the quietness of the arrival fool you into treating it casually. Sampire 2. Cancer. If you are Cancer, you need to understand something about this moment that most Cancer placements are not being told clearly enough. Jupiter is currently in your sign, sitting directly in Cancer. And Jupiter in Cancer, as I explained a moment ago, is exalted. This is the most powerful Jupiter placement in the entire zodiac, and it is happening in your sign right now. This is not a minor transit. This is not a gentle nudge in a favorable direction. This is the largest planet in the solar system operating at the peak of its power inside your own territory. The implications of that for your financial life are significant. But here is the thing about Cancer and abundance that most financial astrology gets completely wrong. For Cancer, the financial shift that is available right now is not primarily about money arriving from an external source. It is about your internal relationship with receiving, with allowing, with believing at a genuine and embodied level that you are allowed to have more than you have been accepting. Cancer is a sign that gives, generously, instinctively, sometimes compulsively, and the shadow side of that, the part of Cancer that rarely gets talked about honestly, is a deep, quiet discomfort with being on the receiving end, a subtle but persistent belief that your needs are less important than everyone else's. That abundance is something you help facilitate for others rather than claim for yourself. That financial security is a goal you work toward on behalf of your family, your people, your loved ones, not necessarily on behalf of yourself. Jupiter in Cancer is dismantling that belief right now, not gently, not gradually, at the root, because here is what Jupiter in exaltation in Cancer actually does when it is operating at full strength. It expands your emotional capacity to receive. It makes it psychologically and energetically safe to want more, to ask for more, to expect more, in a way that previously triggered guilt or discomfort. It rewires the part of your nervous system that was taught, probably in childhood, probably through what you observed about money in your family home. That having more than enough is somehow dangerous or selfish or wrong. This is the abundance Jupiter in Cancer is making available for you. Not just more money, a deeper permission to receive it without apologizing. The practical expression of this shift will look different for every Cancer. For some, it will be a long overdue conversation about compensation, a raise, a rate increase, a renegotiation of terms that you have been putting off because asking felt uncomfortable. For others, it will be an unexpected financial opportunity arriving through family or home, real estate, inheritance, a business venture that emerges from within your existing close relationships. For others still, it will be a quiet but profound shift in how you make financial decisions, moving from scarcity-driven choices to ones made from a genuine sense of enoughness and expansion. The trap for Cancer right now is the one that Cancer always falls into. Putting off your own abundance because someone else needs something first, waiting until the people around you are secure before you allow yourself to be. But Jupiter is not asking you to wait. Jupiter does not do well with waiting. It rewards movement. It rewards the willingness to step into expansion before you feel ready, before you feel certain, before every other person in your life has everything they need. Your financial breakthrough this spring is not going to wait for you to decide everyone else is okay first. It is already in motion. The only question is whether you are in the current or standing on the bank watching it go past. Sign number 3, Scorpio. This one is going to surprise some of you, because Scorpio is not a sign that typically appears on abundance lists. Scorpio is the sign of depth, of transformation, of what is hidden, of endings and rebirths. Scorpio is intense. It is not soft. It is not immediately associated with the warm, lush, comfortable energy of Venus and Taurus. And yet right now, the Venus-Jupiter trine is pointing directly at Scorpio's financial axis in a way that is genuinely remarkable. And if you have Scorpio placements, you need to understand what is being activated. Venus in Taurus sits directly opposite Scorpio in the Zodiac, and in astrology, the sign that sits opposite your sun or your major placements often activates your most significant material and financial house themes. This is especially true for Scorpio when it comes to the area of shared resources. Joint finances, partnerships, investments, hidden income streams, the money that flows to you through other people, through collaboration, through what you have built in combination with someone else. What is activating for Scorpio right now is not about earning in the traditional sense. It is about value being recognized in places where it has been quietly building without acknowledgement. A financial partnership that has been developing under the surface, almost invisible, that is now ready to produce real, tangible results. A situation involving joint resources, shared accounts, investment returns, a business arrangement, a legal or financial agreement that has been sitting unresolved and is about to move toward resolution in Scorpio's favor. A conversation about money that has been avoided because it felt too complex, too loaded, too likely to disturb something that is now ready to happen. And that will clear the air in a way that creates significant financial movement. But Scorpio's financial block right now is almost never about strategy or effort. You are disciplined. You are strategic. You play a long game better than almost any other sign in the zodiac. The block is almost always emotional. Specifically, an attachment to a version of your financial life that no longer fits, maintained out of habit or fear, or the deep scorpionic reluctance to release anything before you fully understand it and have accounted for every possible consequence of letting it go. Pluto has been moving through Aquarius. Saturn just sextiled Pluto on March 28th. The theme of structural transformation, of releasing what is no longer architecturally sound so that something more durable can be built in its place, is running through the collective field right now. Oh, and for Scorpio, this theme is most alive in the financial realm. There is something in your financial life that you have been holding on to past its usefulness, not because you do not know it needs to go, but because releasing it before you know what replaces it feels terrifying to a sign that needs to understand transformation completely before it can surrender to it. But Venus and Jupiter are not asking you to understand the change before you make it. They are asking you to trust the direction you already know internally is right. And then move. The financial transformation for Scorpio this spring is going to arrive in the form of a decision. One specific decision that you've been circling for some time. You already know what it is. You have probably known for longer than you would like to admit. The moment you stop circling it and actually make the choice, the current takes you, and where it takes you is further than anything you have planned. The financial shift does not begin after you make the decision. It begins the moment you make it. Senpai number 4, Capricorn. Of all 4 signs in this video, Capricorn is the one that has been the most patient, the most disciplined, the most willing to do the work without the reward being immediately visible. And if you are a Capricorn or have strong Capricorn placements, you know exactly what I mean, because you have been in what feels like an extended season of building without harvesting for what feels like far too long. You have shown up, you have done the work, you have made the sacrifices, stayed the course, held the long view when everyone around you was chasing short-term results. You have accumulated skill, reputation, expertise, and foundations that are more solid than almost anyone around you realizes. And yet the financial return on all of that investment has been lagging behind in a way that, if you are being honest, has been quietly wearing on you, not breaking you. Capricorn does not break, but wearing on you in the way that only years of patient effort without adequate reward can wear on someone who genuinely believes in the work they are doing. That season is ending. Jupiter in Cancer sits directly opposite Capricorn in the Zodiac, and an opposition from Jupiter, unlike a harsh opposition from a malefic planet, is not a challenge. It is a tension that produces fruit. It is the cosmic equivalent of a bow being drawn back before the arrow flies. Everything that has been accumulating in the Capricorn area of your life, the reputation you have been building, the skills you have been developing, the financial groundwork you have been laying, is now beginning to release its value outward into the world in a way that produces real, tangible, measurable results. The opposition from Jupiter also illuminates what Capricorn most needs to receive right now, and that is nurturing, security, emotional permission to stop carrying everything alone. Cancer rules home, family, emotional safety, and the willingness to be held rather than always being the one doing the holding. Jupiter in Cancer opposite Capricorn is essentially asking the most self-sufficient sign in the zodiac to do the hardest thing it knows how to do. Accept support. Allow abundance to arrive not just as the result of individual effort, but as the natural consequence of being in the right relationship, with people, with opportunity, with your own emotional needs, at the right time. The financial opportunity most available to Capricorn right now is likely to arrive through a relationship, a partnership, a collaboration, a connection with someone whose resources, platform, or network multiplies what you have already built, far beyond what you could achieve working alone. Capricorn's instinct is always to build independently, to control the process completely, to not need anyone else. But the door that is open right now has someone on the other side of it, and walking through it requires a degree of trust that does not come naturally. Walk through it anyway. There will not be a more favorable alignment for Capricorn's financial expansion than this for 12 years. The last time Jupiter occupied Cancer and opposed Capricorn in this way was 2013-2014. Think back to that period. Was there a financial turning point? A significant shift in what was available to you? That energy is back. And it is landing on foundations that are 12 years more mature, more stable, and more capable of receiving and sustaining real, lasting abundance than you were the last time this window opened. The preparation is complete. The timing is precise. The door is open. Whatever you have been waiting to be ready for, you are ready. The only remaining question is whether you believe that yet. A word for the sickness not named. I know some of you are sitting there feeling left out, feeling like the abundance window opened and somehow did not include you. And I want to be direct with you about something. Every single sign benefits from this Venus-Jupiter trine to some degree. The 4 signs I named are simply the ones standing in the most direct path of the current. the ones whose financial houses are most precisely activated by these specific planetary positions. But abundance does not have borders. The energy of Venus in her home sign and Jupiter in his exaltation is coursing through the entire collective field right now. What that means for you, regardless of your sign, is this. The people around you are changing. The financial landscape of your relationships and networks is shifting. Opportunities are going to begin appearing in your orbit, not because they were meant specifically for you, but because the people around you are in motion, and motion is contagious. The question is not whether this energy finds you. The question is whether you are paying enough attention to recognize it when it does. The signs most likely to feel secondary activation right now are Virgo and Pisces, both positioned at sensitive angles to the Venus-Jupiter trine. Virgo may find financial clarity arriving through work, health, or service-related breakthroughs. Pisces may find unexpected abundance flowing through creative or spiritual channels, or through a relationship that changes the financial landscape in ways they did not anticipate. And for every sign, keep moving. Keep showing up. The door being open is the invitation. What you do with the invitation is what determines the outcome. Here is what I want to leave you with. The 4 signs named in this video, Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, Capricorn, have all been building something. Whether it felt productive in the moment or not, whether it felt like progress or felt like spinning in place, the foundation was being laid, and now Venus in her home sign and Jupiter at his most powerful are standing at the edge of everything you have been building and saying the same thing. It is time, not eventually, not when everything is perfect, not when you feel ready and the circumstances align in exactly the way you imagined they needed to before you could move. Now, this window, this specific configuration of planets that will not repeat with this exact energy for another 12 years. The people who step forward in this specific window, who make the call, who send the proposal, who take the meeting, who make the financial decision they have been circling for months, who finally ask for what they are worth, who finally say yes to the opportunity they have been talking themselves out of. Those are the people who will look back at April 2026 as the month everything changed, not because the universe handed them something, because they were ready when the door opened, because they recognized the signal, because they did not wait for a more perfect moment that was never going to arrive. You have been ready longer than you know, and whatever comes next, let it arrive. Let it be bigger than you planned for. Let it be quieter than you expected. Let it be real in a way that only becomes obvious when you look back on this moment from somewhere further down the road. The financial current is moving. It has been building toward this window for months. And if you found this video today, on this specific day, in this specific season, when this specific alignment is live in the sky above you, I already know where you stand in relation to it. You are in the current. Let it carry you somewhere worth being.